welcome back. We're going to be tearing down this 1998 Yamaha Warrior, but she's not starting, so we want to see why. We've got a couple of suspicions, but not until we get into it. But take a listen, let us know what you guys think. Comment below. Let's get into it and then check back with you guys. See you guys in a few.
Okay guys, as you can see in the previous video, Miles tried starting it and it wouldn't start. So we're going to check the basics. The first thing we're going to check is for gas in the tank. If there's no gas in the tank, you're not getting gas to the carburetor, it's not going to start.
Yep, there's gas in the tank.
There's gas in the tank. How's it taste?
Just kidding.
Is it fresh? Does it taste good?
It's good and I didn't taste it. But there's gas in the tank,
yeah,
there's fresh gas.
Don't do that, guys. The next thing we're going to test is for spark at the spark plug. If there's no spark at the plug, it could be your coil, it could be your CDI, it could be your stator. So we're going to go ahead and check that. Another thing you want to do before starting your motor is you want to check your oil. If your oil is low, you want to top it up. Do not start your motor if your oil is low or if it's empty. Make sure you top that up or you can damage something. So we're going to go ahead and test for spark and show you guys how to do that.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull off on the ignition coil plug, and then you want to use a what size is this?
This was a
18. You want to use a 18 or the corresponding socket to fit on the spark plug to take this off. We already loosened ours, so we're going to go ahead and take this off.
And this is just for checking spark.
Okay, as you can see,
this is an LG.
It's the LG DATC plug,
which we're going to be switching over to NGK because NGK are real good plugs.
Exactly. So the way we're going to check spark is we're going to put the spark plug back in the coil boot, like that. And then we're going to put it up to the cylinder head. And we're going to turn the ignition on. Make sure your cure is on.
And run.
Start it up.
3, 2, 1.
I'll show you guys a little closer. Okay guys, as you can see we're getting spark, so we know the CDI is good.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome news.
So the next thing we want to check is fuel. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay guys, so we just replaced the spark plug because the one that was in it was not the correct one.
We switch over to NGK.
Yep, NGK is a 2120. Make sure you are using the correct spark plug for your machine. And when you put your spark plug in, make sure you do not over tighten your threads, as you will be able to damage your head. So we're going to go ahead and put on the coil wire back on.
And make sure that it's gapped correctly. Sometimes they're not pre-gapped, but luckily ours is. And to the correct spec. So
okay guys, so when we picked this up, the previous owner never tightened the spark plug down onto the head, so it was losing all compression.
Fuel coming out, no good.
Yeah, when you were trying to start it. So when we took off the old spark plug and just replaced it, like I said before, you want to make sure your spark plugs are tightened down but not over tight. All the compression is back, and it started right up, which is kind of funny.
Now take a look.
So
you ready? Chokes out. Choke is out. Fuel on. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Choke off. 3, 2, 1. She's alive!
yeah guys, so as you can see, even though we were getting spark, make sure you do tighten your plug in. So that's good, which means our CDI is good, our stator is good, our ignition key switch is good, the cure switch is good.
Grounds are good.
Grounds are good. So now the next thing to do is start taking it apart and
start taking it apart and then start getting parts for it, start rebuilding it. We just want to make sure that the motor was running first before we did anything like that, because you never know what other issues you can cause. So if you do a whole rebuild, just make sure that the motor starts up, because if you do the whole rebuild and then you find out there's an issue afterwards, you can scratch paint, damage parts. So do it just beforehand.
Yeah, guys, it's always good tip to make sure your machine is running before you do any restore or you know, anything like that. So on to the next step.
But she's working. She starts.
Okay, guys, so we got it up and running after that whole ordeal about the spark plug. We checked the oil. The oil was low, so we're going to top it up just a little bit. What are we using today?
It's the Maxim 4. Oh god, I don't even know. 10W30?
10W40
10W40? My
Yep.
bad, sorry.
premium.
Premium 4.
So we're just going to top it up some, get some oil in there. Take it out for a ride, make sure that it goes through the gears. We're going to be replacing the clutch, the starter clutch too. So we just want to make sure the internals of the motor are good. The gearbox, make sure there's no strip gears, reverse, make sure that works before you do anything else.
Where's the... She's reading just above low. Screwing it in. So immature. Yep, just above low. Which we're going to fill up to, well, full. She's good to go.
Alright guys, so what we're going to be doing is, now that we have spark, now that it starts up, we're going to go through the gears. We're going to make sure that first to 6 actually works. We're going to go through reverse too, make sure everything works. That way we know the bottom end of the motor is good. And then we're going to come back in and check everything else and start taking it apart. So let's get on and get to it.
Got a tinkle back crack. Sounding good so far. Going through the gears. Nothing's caught on fire. Here he comes on the ice, slipping and sliding. Sounds healthy. How was it?
Woo!
How was
All
the
the
ride?
gears work.
Good.
So, yeah, she's smooth. The steering is ever so effortless. She gets up there. She's got somewhat of power, but we're going to be doing the whole motor anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, the rear brakes, there's no rear brakes. There's no front brakes. But the gears go up and down nice and smooth. You don't have to use a clutch. Takeoff is easy. So yeah guys, we're gonna keep moving on with the project and keep you up to date on it.